What we are trying to do is we're trying to provide to visually impaired children in Canada facilities, material, education, training that they would not otherwise receive either through the government or through the families.
Your hand on the railing, your cane should just slide up along with your hand.
It took me about a year and a half to do this. That's not bad for a kid.
Yesterday's race was 7.2 kilometers, and we train throughout the year at different distances.
The Military Police Fund for Blind Children was started by then the Army Provost Marshal, Colonel James Riley Stone, who had a daughter who at the time that he was the Army Provost Marshal was 5 or 6 years old, and who was suffering from a form of cancer of the eye. I think probably because of lack of other facilities, she was placed in a school for blind children in Brantford. It was the only place that she could be educated.
I was down visiting her, and she told me of a little girl who couldn't go to the canteen on Saturday morning to get a chocolate bar because she had no money in her trust fund. So I spoke to the superintendent and said, I thought it was frightful in a country like Canada, a child not only handicapped by blindness, but in such poverty they couldn't get a chocolate bar with the rest of the children.
He seized with concern over the needs not so much of his daughter, but of children in general in this blind school in Brantford, undertook to try and see if there wasn't some way to raise money for them. He traveled widely within the Army circles, talking to the various Canadian Provo Corps organizations, and they picked up the challenge and started to raise money.
And I collected that year $2,300, which set up a little fund to provide comforts for the children, but it also enabled 2 small girls in Saskatchewan who hadn't been home for 3 years for Christmas to be flown home. And that's how the fund started, and that's how it grew.
Every military police units and organizations in the Canadian Forces are involved in some way or other with the Military Police Fund for Blind Children. And they are primarily involved in activities to raise money. These activities varies from location to location. It will go from a skate-a-thon to a swim-a-thon to a radio-thon to a type-a-thon to a concert to having organization also belonging to the military, such as the Canex, which is our store, our family stores, such as the credit union, who associate with the military a great deal, and will also make some kind of an activities or just put a donation box by the cash register to raise money for the blind children. So there are numbers of activities, and the entire military community is involved, not just the military police.
I'm the Blind Fund rep for the Military Police section here at Safety Shearwater. Tonight we have Master Warrant Officer Dan Johnson, and he's doing a type-a-thon for us for the Military Police Fund for Blind Children as a fundraiser. Dan started typing in 1982, was his first type-a-thon, and he started actually right here in Halifax at one of the country radio stations. And that year he raised about $2,500. To date, Dan has raised $175,000. That doesn't include this type-a-thon, which I expect we will hit the $20,000 mark.
Everywhere where we have a military police organizations or a unit, we have representative within that unit who is the Blind Fund representative with 3 very specific functions. One of the functions that they have, of course, is to organize activities and through those activities to be able to raise some funds for the children. The second function is to ensure that we are able to identify families, children that need help. Or the third, and as important, is to identify the institutions, either educational or medical, that can use our help. Whether that is to buy some computers for the school, for the children to learn on, whether it is to buy a particular piece of kit for a hospital to help prevent or to stop or to slow the losing of sight. We have many ways that both the military communities and the Canadian people can contribute. It can be done through the United Way, directing the funds through the United Way to the Military Police Fund for Blind Children. It can be done through a pay assignment in the military pay assignment directly from the pay office to the fund. It can be done by just going to any military police guard room. There's always a container somewhere that says the Military Police Fund for Blind Children. You can drop your coins in there, or during any of the raising activities to raise funds, money can be given. It is absolutely rewarding. And what is even the most rewarding is to be able to go and visit those children, to be able to exchange and interact with them, and to notice that the little bit that we are giving, although it looks like it's a lot that we have given them, it's so little compared to what they're giving us when we go and see them.
Colonel Stone is a very self-effacing individual. When the award of the Order of Canada was announced, he made it plain then that he considered the award not to be made to him personally, but to be made to him on behalf of the branch, and has made the point in writing that he will wear the medal in honor of the branch and in honor of all of the military police and Provo people over the years who have made the Blind Fund successful and who, as he puts it, have brought some light to an otherwise dull and gloomy world for children.
Beautiful organization. I'm so proud to be part of it. We must continue the Colonel Stone's visions. The children need us. The military is here not just to represent Canada, but to give to Canada. It is a marvelous way for the Canadian forces to donate a little bit of us to our Canadian children. We must maintain that vision because the children need us.